Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos and college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.
And everybody, welcome Razorback Nation to the Arkansas Football Report. It is Thursday, October 17th, 2024, and welcome. I'm Jason Pattison. We're here live at Torchys Tacos here in Rogers, and thank you to Leighton, Marcus, and their great staff. They always take care of us. Chips, salsa, queso, drinks, you name it. Anytime we need it, they got it. You can also click on the like and subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen to subscribe to the Hogville YouTube channel. You can watch all of the past shows from Otis, Dudley, Kevin, and now Marshall. Be sure to stop by either of the 2 Torchys locations here in Rogers or in Fayetteville, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. Try their queso that is made in-house fresh daily with the taco of the month. This month it's the tailgater. No, it's not the tailgater. It's the Baja salmon there you guys can see on screen there. And also pair that with either the queso or any of their other tacos on their great menu that will open your taste buds to a new world. Also, if you're heading to Reynolds Razorback Stadium again this weekend, you have Arkansas taking on LSU 6 o'clock on ESPN. We will be live at the Fayetteville location at 4 o'clock, and we'll be going on for probably about an hour or so for myself and Marshall. So be sure to catch us live there, and also follow Hogville on Twitter, Facebook, and always remember this: you can find all of our content on Hogville.net, where it's always free. Otis, you got a week off. How you doing, my guy?
Doing good, man. Doing great. Got the Lakers tonight. Got the Yankees. Got beat today, I guess. They were down 3-1 when I got here, but they're up 2-1 in the series. The Lakers play tonight, so it's a good night, man. When we got the Lakers, Yankees, and the Hogs. I mean, we had a triple header, man. Talking Hogs, Yankees, Lakers. I mean, it's a good night when you can do that.
Yeah, it is. It is. And also want to throw up here just a second. Got a new graphic, Otis. Got this all lined out for us.
Well, I think I saw that on X and retweeted it.
I did, yeah. I just got that out this afternoon.
I like that. I saw it earlier today and retweeted it, man. I just happened to be screwing around on X or Twitter and saw that, and I like that. Yeah,
I'm trying to come up with some, a little bit new graphics as far as the season goes, and keep people interested in stuff. And also, I want to say thanks to Scott. We tagged him in the free $25 gift certificate to Torchys, as he was the closest guest to the Arkansas victory 2 weeks ago against Tennessee. Took a little bit to get around to it. We had an off week last week, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That was probably some of the most needed rest that I think a lot of us have needed for a while.
Yeah, I always like rest, but here's the thing. I mean, Arkansas's 4-2. That's exactly where I had them when I picked them to go 8-4. The only 2 games I missed were Auburn and Oklahoma State. I had them beating Oklahoma State and losing to Auburn, and they beat Auburn and lost to Oklahoma State, so they reversed it. Here's my deal, Jason. Here's my deal on LSU. LSU to me is 2 plays away from being 3-3.
Yeah,
2 plays. So, Ole Miss and South Carolina. Arkansas is 2 plays away from being 6-0. That's why I'm picking Arkansas this weekend. I'm telling you, man. Arkansas is 2 plays away from me. Now, look, I know that's a little bit of Oklahoma State they should have beaten. There's a million plays you can take from that game and redo them. Just one of them, and Arkansas wins that game. They should have never lost that game. But A&M, that may be a stretch. I get that, but I'm just thinking if Arkansas had not fumbled at the 10-yard line, I think they'd have beat A&M. But A&M is probably the best team they've played. A&M's a good team, but Arkansas definitely should be 5-1 and could be 6-0. That might be a better way to say it than saying they would have beaten A&M, because I don't know, even if they had to pummel 10, they might not have beaten A&M. But Arkansas should be 5-1 right now.
Yeah, let's look at the
could be 6-0.
Let's look at the conference standings, and this is what we were talking about beforehand. Is that basically this whole the top 8 8 teams in the conference is kind of a mixed bag of nuts.
Yeah,
really, in a way. You've got, of course, A&M standing at
A&M's a good team. I'm telling you, they're a good team. They're better than LSU, and I want to see them play Texas. I don't know who I'd pick in that game. A&M's. I don't know how Notre Dame beat them. I know they did, but A&M's a good team.
Yeah, they are. You got LSU. It's 2-0. Texas also 2-0. Georgia's 3-1. I honestly think that Georgia's probably the most battle-tested team in the SEC to this point.
Well, I mean, Georgia had to go to Alabama. They had to go to Texas, and I believe they have to go to Ole Miss, I believe.
Yep. College game day is going to be there at Austin.
Georgia, they had 3 games. All I know is they had 3 games that they had to go play on, and all on the road. And I know one of them was Texas. One of them was Alabama, and I'm thinking the other one was Ole Miss. Maybe it was somebody else, but it was all really good. I know they have 4 on the road, but I'm just saying they had 3 of the best teams in the SEC on the road. So Georgia's got a tough schedule. They're a good team. People think I'm crazy, but let me tell you this. I had rather play Texas than play Alabama this year. I'm telling you, Arkansas finds ways occasionally to beat Texas. They find ways to lose to Alabama every single year, and I don't think this year would have been any different. I'm just telling you, I'd rather play Texas than play Alabama. Some clown was telling me he keeps receipts the other day and was pointing out that I said that back when the schedule came out, and I said, fella, first place, here's what I said, Jason. I said the schedule is about, without Georgia, without Alabama, without OU, it's probably about as easy as it's ever going to be. But it's not easy. I mean, it's probably about as good as it can ever be. That's why I said. I didn't say it was easy. I said it's about as good as it can ever be. Look, I said I'd rather play Alabama rather play Texas. But I said, but beyond that, you've got Alabama. I'm sorry, you've got Texas coming here. You've got LSU coming here. You've got Tennessee coming here. You've got Ole Miss coming here.
Yeah.
You go to Mississippi State and Auburn, 2 of the worst teams in the SEC, and you go there, and then you played A&M. Was on one of the road games was on a neutral field. So really, Missouri game is the one true road game that they're probably going to be a big underdog in.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Missouri's as good as I thought they were at the preseason. They're going to have a good record because they got a soft schedule. But Missouri's not playing as well as I thought they would. I thought they'd be really good. But no, I think this schedule this year, it's never going to be easy in the SEC, and I never said it was. But it's about as good as it can be, is what I said. Yeah. And I don't take that back. I still rather play Texas than play Alabama. I know people got gung ho, man. Then that came out after Texas scored 38 on OU. And I said, what's the big deal about Texas scoring 38 on OU? Tennessee scored 30 on them.
Yeah.
Look, this OU team is not a typical OU team that people think.
You think of OU, they are down this year.
When you think of OU, you think some great football teams, and this is not one of them. This is not a great football team. I'm telling you, if Arkansas played OU, I think they'd roll them, man. I really do. OU has no offense.
Also, make sure to throw up your score predictions for this Saturday coming up with Arkansas versus LSU. We'll go over the score predictions with the Hogville staff here in a little bit. But make sure to throw those score predictions up there. Also, the day of the game, or I should say starting tomorrow, I'll put up the score predictions for tomorrow's game. You have to also be subscribed to Twitter to get that as well, because let's face it, notice if you guys are on here on YouTube watching us, you sure as hell can get on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
And throw the score predictions up for a $25 gift card here to Torchys. So if you guys either in the area, know somebody in the area, or if you're coming up for any of the games, you can use that card to go get some free food, get some food and head over to the game.
Yeah.
So, and that also goes for basketball too. I mean, those gift cards, they last for as long as you want them.
Yeah.
But, going back to that mixed bag of nuts that I was talking about, and the reason why I say that is because if you look at the lower half of that, you got Alabama, Arkansas, and Tennessee and Vanderbilt all tied at 2-1 in the SEC standings.
Yeah.
Halfway through the season, and that's why that's where that mixed bag of nuts comes into play, because I would have never said that those 4 teams would be in the same clump.
No, I thought Arkansas would be 1 and 2 in the SEC because I thought they'd beat Oklahoma State and they'd be 4 and 2 right now.
Yeah,
but I thought Auburn would beat them. This is preseason. You got to remember. But once the season started, I picked Arkansas to beat Auburn. But Auburn isn't that good.
Yeah.
They're not nearly as good as I thought they'd be. But my deal with that was, I think I explained that when I put the schedule out. I said Hugh Freeze seems to have Sam Pittman's number.
Yeah,
and that was my theory on that. Was Sam Hugh Freeze usually finds a way to beat Sam Pittman. He did Liberty and he did Auburn last year. They rolled Arkansas last year in Fayetteville.
Yep.
But they didn't do it this year. And and every week it's who's Hugh Slee's going to lose to and who's he going to throw under the bus. I mean, that's the thing with you, man. Who's he going to throw under the bus and who's he going to lose to? Man, they got Missouri this weekend. That's a game where I'd have to take a bath and shower and do everything if I cheered for either one of those teams. Good God.
I cannot wait till we get into that towards the end of the show for the SEC roundup, man. I'm going to tell you what, we'll have some fun with that.
If the ground ever separates and they sink into it, that'd be the day to do it. Just both teams just sink. Or at least not the teams, but Freeze and Drinkwitz just.
Oh my gosh. And so, so that's kind of what I was wanting to talk about with the top 8 in the SEC coming into this weekend. One of the things that I noticed after Arkansas played Tennessee's ground game has been quite small. It has been almost non-existent. They were averaging 356 yards on the ground before SEC play. They get into it. Now it's 136.
Yeah, they played OU too. OU's not any good, guys. I'm just telling you, OU's not that good this year. Non-conference teams. But North Carolina State was overrated, bad, and I don't know who else they played, but they played some weak teams. I know they played NC State and Oklahoma, and I know they beat the crap out of NC State and really got a lot of publicity for that. NC State's overrated too.
Gotcha. And so I want to get into the LSU game because you've got some question marks. Really, the biggest question mark, honestly, from either side is what is going to be Taylen Green's availability. How much is he going to be able to go, and how much of that playbook can Bobby use with him to keep him upright, keep that knee from whatever is going on with that knee?
Well, cheap shots. What's going on with
that? That was a cheap shot. Yes,
that Tennessee player should have been. I mean, that guy. Somebody should have took his butt out after that. That was a cheap shot he put on Taylen Green. I don't care how you describe it. That's just cheap. The
thing is that he was also jumping up, throwing his hands up in the air, like he thought he'd done something.
Oh yeah, he's trailer park. Not a trailer park taco. He's a trailer park football player, man. Wonder if he's not at Auburn.
You might get a good deal from Hugh. You may get a good deal from Hugh, but
yeah.
So
he can fit in well down there.
You got
Missouri.
We got Harold Perkins that's out. I mean, that guy was a guy that we talked about.
Bona fide stud, man.
He is. I mean, he is just as good as Pierce from Tennessee.
Yeah.
And
I think he's better.
And the thing is that that's a guy that Arkansas doesn't have to account for now on offense. It might loosen things up. I want to see, R-Dub get some more carries, kind of open it up a little bit with a little bit of thunder and lightning. Well, actually, it'd be 2 thunders and a lightning, really.
Yeah.
But I want to see a little bit more of expansion because, we had Braylon Russell that was with the media this week. I thought he did a great job.
Braylon's a man. I mean, that's 6'1", 253, and he went through Tennessee like they weren't even there, man.
Sliced butter.
People talking about they'd let them score. I said it wouldn't matter. They weren't going to stop Braylon Russell 4 carries anyway. They knew that. I'm really proud of Malachi. I don't know Malachi very well. I know his uncle, but I don't know Malachi very well. I know most of the players I know pretty well. I don't know Malachi that well, but I was really proud of him. He stepped up. He was nervous when he came in, but he really stepped up. But I remember 2 years ago here at Razorback Stadium, LSU comes in. KJ doesn't play. And LSU escaped with a 13-10 win. But Arkansas, with Malachi and KJ, they're better equipped to handle that if they had to play them than they were 2 years ago when Kate Fortin and Malik Hornsby played. So I'll quit eating so I won't be choking. But no, I feel like the thing with Arkansas, though, with Taylen, you were talking about keeping him healthy and upright. Here's the deal, man. They had no turnovers against Tennessee. They've got to play a clean game. That's going to be my number one tomorrow on my 5 keys to beating LSU. It's been number one every week, and it's going to be number one the rest of the season. They've got to play a clean game. And if they do, like I said, they can beat any team in the country if they play a clean game. They can beat anybody. Now, no, if they play a clean game and still lose to say Texas or somebody or LSU, but that they'll have to beat Arkansas. Arkansas beat themselves against Oklahoma State.
They did.
And and 3 turnovers against A&M, and still nearly won the game. Both those games should have won Oklahoma State.
I mean,
but
that really
Arkansas's got to play a clean game. But if they keep the turnovers down, and make LSU beat them, I don't think LSU can. Texas could, but that's on down the road. We'll talk about that when it gets here. But I'm telling you, LSU. Arkansas beat them, lost to them 13-10 2 years ago with no quarterback, and I'm telling you, it's been 3 points every year with Sam, and LSU has been 3 points. Arkansas beat them 16-13, I believe it was, with Cam Little kicking that field goal in overtime. That's only Arkansas win for Sam, but I think Arkansas is going to get them this year, Jason. I really do, man. I just think that I think LSU's a good team. Obviously, they're a good team. LSU's always good. There's no reason for them not to be, but I think Arkansas beats them this year.
Well, that's the thing too, is that I really feel like, and I want the old heads, old guys. Mm-hmm. I want you guys to ring in if you guys are watching tonight. And the reason why I'm asking that is because it seems like from guys my age and young, or guys right around my age, early 40s.
They buried me alive my age, man. I'm telling you. Them damn people they're out there resting, man. They had the hymn book and shovel on sad songs, slow walking, man. It's all over for most people my age, so you won't get very many of them dialing in.
The point I'm making is that the generation from myself and younger remember a lot of the LSU games where Arkansas didn't have honestly, a shot in the dark in some of those. And you have Arkansas go on the road and beat LSU in double overtime 50-48 back in 2004, 2005, somewhere right around there?
No, that's the last game with Houston Nutt at Arkansas.
Okay.
That was the last game Houston Nutt coached at Arkansas, man. They couldn't wait to get him out of here, and all he did was go down and beat the eventual national champion with
Red Richardson, too.
Peyton Hillis and Darren McFadden and Felix Jones, those guys. They went down there and beat LSU at Baton Rouge, and LSU won the national championship that year.
And the thing is that Arkansas was always able to play LSU tight. They were always able to play them tough. Mm-hmm. It always seems to me, it also feels like that's kind of the way the Texas rivalry was. There was a lot of times where Arkansas may not have had a shot in hell to beat Texas, but they were always in the game.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what folks are going to see, this weekend. But the point I'm making is that whenever you have Texas with being number one in the country, and I'm circling back to your point with Arkansas could play Texas better than Alabama this year, is that those are the same things that happen where Arkansas, the younger people don't remember these things because they can only see those games on YouTube, for instance. And those are long games to be able to, take in over and over, so many games. But the thing is that some of the older guys that lived those games understand that the Arkansas series kind of is like Texas, where just because it's a number in front of the name doesn't mean quite exactly how that game is going to turn out, because it's going to turn into a rock fight at some point.
Yeah. And, Arkansas used to, they've had a lot more success against Texas since they joined the SEC, since Arkansas did. And then Texas, this will be the first time they played since Texas joined. But Arkansas's had better success than they did the latter years of the Southwest Conference. Mm-hmm. Texas usually beat them, but Arkansas, since they've joined the SEC and played Texas, they've won most of the game. Not all of them, but they won most of them. I was down at the Cotton Bowl in '99 when Arkansas, Matt Jones, Cedric Cobbs ran wild against them.
Boy, I remember
no, it wasn't Matt Jones. I'm sorry, it was Clint Sterner. It was Matt Jones and Cedric Cobbs later on in Austin, like 2 years later.
Yeah.
I was down there for that game. Yeah, that was in Austin when Arkansas beat them 31-21, I believe. But in the Cotton Bowl, it was Clint Sterner and Cedric Cobbs. I'm sorry. But I was at both those games, too. And Arkansas won both of those in the Cotton Bowl, and then they beat them down in Austin that year. But Arkansas has lost the next year up here against when Matt had a fumble late in the game against them. But
I remember that.
That was a heartbreaker. But Arkansas's done pretty well against them. Won the bowl game Brett Beelam was here, and then yeah, it's they've had good success against Texas. That's why I say I'd rather play Texas than play Alabama. But they've not had any success against Alabama. I mean, the last time we beat them was when Houston Nutt was the head coach and Gus Malzahn was the offensive coordinator. Mitch Mustang was the quarterback. Folks, that's a long time ago, man.
A long time ago.
And you want to think I'm crazy because I'd rather play Alabama. I'd rather play Texas, Alabama. Arkansas finds ways to lose to Alabama. They just find ways. Yeah. And they, most of the time, I'll be honest, most of the time, probably, Jason, if I'm being honest, Alabama's had the better team.
Yeah.
But there's been a few times that Arkansas, well, I remember Brett lost to them 14-13 one year. Missed an extra point. Cody Walker's going in the end zone. Fumbles the ball.
God, I remember.
Nobody around him. I mean,
left side of the field on the
side. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like the A&M game where Arkansas's going in and taking like 3 touchdown lead. They called Dan Skipper for some imaginary tripping. He got knocked on his butt. He's laying there with his leg up, and he wasn't trying to trip him, baby. I mean, just stuff like that. It happens against Alabama, and it happens against A&M, and it doesn't happen against Texas. They, Sam, what was that? 2022 here, 2021 when they played Texas, beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, 41-20.
I'm just telling you, Arkansas plays well against Texas, and they don't play well against Alabama, and that's my thinking on that. Look, I think Alabama's better than people think, and I'm not sure. Now, I will say this. I do think Texas is good. And when I picked Arkansas to go 8-4, that was one of the games that I had them losing. And if they do lose to Texas and they beat LSU, that will be the first time Sam Pittman's ever lost to the head coach coming out of a bye week. Yeah. If they lose to Texas, if they beat LSU, if they lose to LSU, then that'll be the first time.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this for just a second, because there's a lot of folks that have always around the program that have really tried to pump the whole borderline rivalry, Arkansas, Missouri, this, that, and the other. I get that. This is an actual rivalry game.
Oh, yeah.
You have a boot. You have a 100-pound golden boot that both teams are playing for. And this is an actual rivalry where there is a lot of emotion. There is a lot of camaraderie. And there's some good old-fashioned hate between both of the schools.
Yeah.
That there's been so many close games where there's been a lot on the line because it's been towards the end of the season. And whenever you have those things, you cannot replace those with just a trophy and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. I know this has been going on for a long time. I know this has been a huge debate between folks, but listen, this is a bigger rivalry than Missouri will be, because quite honestly, Arkansas hasn't given a shit when they play Missouri. Let's just face it. I mean, that's what it's looked like. Arkansas players, Arkansas fans, they care when they play LSU. You go down Maple Street right now, Otis. I guarantee you're going to start to see some signs over there that make you want to put your hands over your kid's eyes and say, do not look at that. Because I already saw one of them. I'm not showing it on here.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where you have the Tuck Fexus and stuff like that. And this rivalry that is going to recommence on Saturday is going to make a great atmosphere at Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Because Arkansas fans have got all day to drink before this, all day to tailgate.
Well,
get ready for this, and then they file up there and on national television.
Beating Tennessee and then having a bye week to kind of have you save up a little money, to rest up, not have to come to Fayetteville back-to-back weekend. I'm telling you, that place is going to be packed Saturday night. It's going to be packed. It was packed for Tennessee, and it's going to be packed again. Probably going to be even more. I doubt there'll be very many empty seats, if any. There shouldn't be any.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, the weather is decent. It's not super hot, not super cold.
It's going to be perfect, man.
Perfect weather for football. There's really no reason for all. And look, I don't get on here and preach that much because I get a pass. I mean, I eat free, go to the game free. So I'm not going to sit and judge people. I know how expensive. I don't know what tickets are, but I know they're expensive.
Yeah.
People got to do what they got to do to live, man. So I get that. But there should be enough fans in Arkansas to fill that stadium Saturday night, because LSU's going to have some people here. It's close.
Oh, yeah, they travel.
Oh, yeah, they travel well. Tennessee traveled well. And there's going to be a lot of fans there. And so with the help from the LSU crowd, there should be no reason not to have that thing packed Saturday. Arkansas beating Tennessee. Hey, look, man, if Arkansas wins, they're 5-2. They're 3-1 in the SEC. Jason, they're up there with the Alabamas, and maybe if Georgia beats Texas, they're up there with Texas and Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Georgia will beat Texas. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if they did, then that'll be a loss for Texas. It'll be a loss for Georgia.
Georgia's already Arkansas in second place in the SEC.
It'd be,
Isn't that crazy?
3-1 in the SEC. So I mean, I'm just telling you, man. There's no reason not to get over there Saturday night if you can afford it and you have tickets. And you've got nothing else to do. Get over there and watch that game. And if you've got tickets and you're not going to use them, give them to somebody, man.
Yeah,
give them to somebody. Give them away. Let somebody go that will enjoy the game. Don't just throw them in the corner and not use them, man. Well, I guess they're not paper tickets now. I get, but look, give them to somebody, man. I mean, there's people out there that would love to go to that game, probably can't afford it. This is a chance to let them go. But anyway, I'll get off that because, like I said, I don't really like to tell people what to do because you and I are going to the game free of charge, and so I'm not trying to tell people. I know it's expensive. I know it is. You got parking, food, I get all that. But if but I hope it's packed Saturday night. I mean, hey, food and stuff is not cheap in Baton Rouge. It's not cheap in Austin, Texas. It's not cheap in Knoxville, Tennessee. And those places fill up the stadium. So,
exactly.
I mean, it's not like Arkansas is the only place where gas is expensive or food or whatever. So there should be enough fans to fill that place up Saturday night. And I hope they do. I hope I think it'll be a loud crowd. I mean, for what they've gotten in the last few years from Arkansas football, I think the fans have been great to Arkansas. I really do. I'm not dishing on any fans because they've been great. Arkansas was a pathetic product last year for the most part, especially against Auburn and Alabama. They didn't look good at all. They got blown out. It wasn't even a game. But this is a better football team. When I picked Arkansas 8-4 in preseason, and I said then, nobody knows what the record's going to be.
Yeah.
But what I said was, my point was, this is a lot better football team than last year was. That was my point. I'm driving home. There was no comparison between last year. I saw these national guys predicting 4-8, 3-9 for Arkansas, and there was no way that was going to happen. Not with this team. They're just too good. They're a lot better than they were last year. This is a legit good football team.
That's what happens.
I'm not saying they're great, but this is a legit good football team. They're up there with. Right now, they're basically with probably just about anybody in the SEC. You had A&M up there. You had LSU, and you had Texas. I believe that was the three undefeated teams. Okay, well, they played A&M.
A&M's only undefeated.
Yeah,
they're 3-0. That's it. Everybody else has got a loss.
Well, Texas and LSU don't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They're
2-0.
Well, I'm saying they played A&M.
Yeah,
that was a 50-50 game. I mean, or 60-40 A&M. I mean, they were right there to win that game. If they don't fumble at the 10-yard line, I still think Arkansas may win. Okay, we're going to see what they do against LSU Saturday night, and then Texas rolls in later. Arkansas played with one of those three undefeated teams. They're going to play. They're going to give LSU all they want. I think they'll beat them. But regardless of that, they're going to give them all they want. So Arkansas basically, my point is, they're playing with anybody in the SEC this year, Jason. That was what I was trying to get through in my preseason stuff. Was this is a good football team? No longer is it going to be a game when you roll out there on Saturday. I hope it's not 50-0 tonight. You don't have that this year, and that was my main point. That's all I was trying to say. This is a good football team, a lot better than they were last year, and the record shows it. The play on the field shows it.
Yeah.
And like I said, they should be 5-1 right now and could be 6-0.
So, I want to talk a little bit about Taylen Green because, I mean, that's been the topic of conversation over the last 2 weeks during the bye week and now this week, bringing up to game week. Taylen was not on an injury designation on the teleconference yesterday with Sam Pittman. I know that Sam had his weekly show as well and didn't really, wasn't.
The injury report came out last night, and I wrote a story on it. There's only Jalen Braxton out and Rodney Hill doubtful. That was the only two Razorbacks that were on that list last night. Now, that can and will change by Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll see what the status is. But everything that Sam's talked about is Taylen practice. I can't imagine the kid's practicing. He's not going to play. I don't see that. I know former Razorback predicted, or I heard a former Razorback predicted he wouldn't play this weekend. He may not, but I can't imagine Taylen practicing and not going to play. I don't believe that.
Also, one of the and I know that I get the information and stuff, but have you heard anything about Pat Kutas?
Yeah. Kutas. Sam thinks he's going to be able to play, but he doesn't know about football game shape and stuff. So, it looks like he may play this weekend. So,
that's honestly, that's an extra lineman.
Yeah. Sam said that he may play. I think if he does, I don't know that he would start, but he could relieve some people and let them play, But, we'll see. It's a good chance to Kutas plays this weekend, according to Sam.
I'm going to tell you, one of the bright spots that I want to point out to is Amarian Harris.
Oh,
Man, that guy.
Amarian is good,
Took
very good football player, man.
He took his shot and he has ran with it. You have not had anybody else rotate into that position and say, hey, okay, well, maybe this guy can give us a little bit more. No, he has sewn up that right guard spot. And I'm going to tell you what he has done, left guard spot. Yeah. And he has done a magnificent job over there with him and Fernando.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think when Kudus comes back, I know he was supposed to start at left guard, but I don't think you're going to see necessarily Amarian go to the bench. No. I think what happened.
I see Josh Braun.
No, I think it'd be Blackstock. It'd be Blackstock. I really do. I think Blackstock if anybody goes to the bench, I think it's Keyshawn Blackstock. And I think he would play a lot. But I could see Kudus or Amarian going out to right tackle. You know, in all honesty, I think Blackstock should be a guard. And we'll see if that's where they play him next year. But but Amarian's not. I don't think Amarian's going to go to the bench. I would be surprised if he did. He's played well, and he should. But he should get to play because he has played well. He's a very good football player. I saw a kid in high school. Let me tell you, I saw him when he was in the 9th grade. He's playing both ways at like 380 pounds, Jason, in the heat in September. And he's out there playing both ways for Joe T. Robinson. Yeah. I'm telling you, that kid can play. And you're right, his name's Amarian. I know people call him Amarian, but it's Amarian is his name. And his dad got me on that. So that's who straightened me out on that, Mr. Elliott Harris, who was a stud football player here, too. Yeah. For Arkansas. Knew Elliott played up here. I believe he played. I don't know if he played when my son did or not, but he played for the Hogs back there and come out of Mariana. He played Mariana. Elliott did. Marian's from Joe T. Robinson.
Yeah. All right, well, everybody, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back in just a minute. On the other side of the break, Otis is going to go over a list of some names that will be in this weekend for the recruiting trip. I think that's really huge with Arkansas, with the momentum that they have so far in the national spotlight, also the regional spotlight. I think this is going to be a great weekend for Arkansas and Sam to be able to capitalize on some high school guys coming in and seeing not only the atmosphere, but the change in the locker room that has happened from last year to this year as well.
And they've got an official visitor coming in this weekend, Jason. We'll talk about that, I know, on the other side. But they do have an official visitor, too, a tight end, 6'7", 240.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll talk about it, though.
All right, everybody. This is the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk here at Torchys and Rogers. We'll be back in just
Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos and college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.
My God.
And everybody, welcome back to the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk. I'm Jason Passing. Oh, no, Otis, man. Look that up, man. Look that up. Otis just got a shot of adrenaline in the arm here just a second ago with one of the great patrons here at Torchys Tacos. His Yankees were down 3-1 whenever he had to depart the house to come up here. and just found out that they won 5-3.
It's the bottom of the ninth.
Oh, bottom of the ninth.
It's 5-3 Yankees. But yeah, they were 3-1 in the bottom of the eighth. I checked the score before we went on. Yeah, Judge and Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge hit home runs.
Well, I guess that they are worth every stinking penny that the evil empire has paid for them for their services. So, but again, also I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight here. We are Torchys Tacos and Rogers. Throw up your score predictions, questions, comments, concerns, good, bad, or ugly. We'll get those on air and we'll answer those as well. Be sure to jump over to our Twitter site tomorrow, where I'll have the post for the Arkansas score prediction for a $25 gift certificate to Torchys Tacos. So we're gonna get on the flip side of this. So Otis, talk to us a little bit about the one of the official visitors that Arkansas is going to have coming in this weekend.
So Gavin Garrison's a big tight end out of Chico, California. Pleasant Valley High School. He's 6'7", 240. He's committed to San Diego State. He's got a brother that goes to San Diego State. But Arkansas has offered him a scholarship recently during the bye week, and he's going to come in and see the Razorbacks, what they have to offer. Arkansas does not have a tight end in this class, but that be the guy that can block. And, with Morgan Turner being from Stanford out there, he has some ties to California, so I'm sure he knows this kid pretty well. And but, he's coming in for a visit. A lot of committed players will be here. And there's a lot of players. I don't have a full list. I've got a partial list, but a kid that I like a lot out of Chattanooga Baylor is a wide. But Chattanooga Baylor, he's 25, a wide receiver named Cameron Sparks, and he's a player that Arkansas is going to be on an unofficial visit, Jason. And he's good. That's a very good football player. That's one to watch right there. He's a 4-star, I believe. Kid in state that I like is Dominio Patterson from Joe T. Robinson. We were just talking about Marion Harris being from Joe T. Yep. This kid's from Joe T. as well. He's 6'4", 320 offensive lineman. He's going to be here. Peyton Miller's 2027 offensive lineman. Jaquise Martin from 2025 from Bryan, Texas, down in A&M country. An offensive lineman from Baton Rouge. You always wonder if these kids are coming to see Arkansas or are they coming to see LSU.
Yeah.
Blaze Thomasy, an offensive lineman, 2026 from LSU, from Baton Rouge. He'll be here. Like I said, a lot of the commitments will be here. Grayson Wilson, quarterback that I love. I think he's the second best player in Arkansas in 2025.
Yeah.
I think Carius Kearns, number 1. Blake Cherry, big offensive lineman who I saw score a touchdown the other night. He scored a touchdown in their win over Jinx, or I believe it was Jinx they were playing. But, he's from Owasso, Oklahoma. He scored a touchdown from the tackle spot, caught a pass, lined up a tight. I'm going to tell you the most underrated recruit in the nation, not in Arkansas, but in the nation, is Antonio Jordan from Warren.
Yeah.
And he'll be here. And I'm telling you, that kid put out no huddle video, nothing. He just wanted to be a Razorback. He's probably about 6'4", 6'5", 6'6".
About a wide receiver.
Yeah, wide receiver. To fly. Bo Henry. I don't know what Bo has in the water down there at Warren. But
every so often, all of a sudden, he pops up about 3 or 4 wide receivers.
Right. But Antonio Jordan's right there with all of them, man. Yeah. I'm talking about Traylon Burks and all of them. They've been a lot of great Jarius Wright and those guys, but
Jarius,
Antonio Jordan can go, man. Greg Childs, Chris Gregg.
Yeah.
I know he played tight end, but he was quite. But
he was a hybrid. He's kind of one of the first hybrids that Arkansas really had at the tight end position.
Kid I like is Cameron Settles, running back from Parkview. Quentin Murphy's quarterback down there at Parkview. He'll play wide receiver here at Arkansas probably. He's an athlete. He's going to be here. Kendrick Williams, of safety over at Fayetteville High School. He's coming in for a visit this weekend. We're making a long trip from Fayetteville High to University of Arkansas. But no, I like him a lot. Javon Gilmore, the other quarterback, is committed for 2026. He'll
South
be
Carolina.
Here. Williams is 2026 too, by the way. I had him on the Pig Trail Nation recruiting show a few weeks ago on Kendrick. I've had most of these kids on there. It's hard right now because they're in meetings and playing ball and stuff. So we had one out here. I've tried to get another one out here, not yet though. But Cash Courtney will be here, the offensive lineman from down in Texas. So yeah, they're oh crap, Cleveland just tied the game.
Yeah, they just tied it with a 2-run homer.
Crap.
So
that sucks.
Do you think that Carius Kern might come up? And I know that he's kind of went back and forth between Arkansas, LSU. Do you think that he might make an appearance this weekend?
Yeah, I think he could. I think he very well could be here this weekend. It would not surprise me if Carius is here this weekend. So, yeah, I think he could be. So we'll see. But yeah, I think he could be. So yeah, well,
all right,
now jinxed him, man. But,
all right, James Whittington, 31-10 Arkansas. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you that's actually a really good score. I could see that happening. I understand that on my predictions, I said that LSU would be a 20-13 winner over Arkansas. There's two reasons why. Is because what can LSU's offensive line do against Arkansas's defense, and two, how much availability does Taylen have into that playbook for Bobby? And I mean, are we going to see both quarterbacks? Because if we see both quarterbacks, I think that Brian Kelly had to prepare at some point for those guys.
Yeah, thing about it is, I think Malachi playing those 2 or 3 series against UAPB. People gripe about playing that game. I'm telling you, man, they got some benefit from that. I mean, he got some experience there. KJ got some experience in that game. Yep. They wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And then Malachi coming in against Tennessee late in the game, I think that helped his confidence. So I think if he has to play now, I think Malachi is a lot more prepared than he would have been, if he hadn't played against Tennessee. Yep. They got a lot of the jitters out. But yeah, I think that I think Arkansas, we'll see. I mean, but Carius Kern could be here, and yeah, that's always the quarterback play is key with anything, Jason. I mean,
I'm gonna make a bold statement on this. I think that Arkansas is probably 1 or 2, maybe 3 teams tops in the SEC where that your top 2 quarterbacks can not only service a game, but they can give you a drive that you need to score a touchdown, which we saw Malachi Singleton do. That puts you up there with Texas with Arch Manning and also with Quinn Ewers.
Yeah,
there may be
A&M's got 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, and then you have A&M with Connor Wegman and Marcel Reed.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't think that you have too many more teams in the SEC that go too deep at the quarterback spot that can get you they can get you a score, not get you a touchdown, but at least get you in field goal range. And that's something that Arkansas hasn't had in a long time.
No, they're a lot more prepared. Arkansas is a lot more prepared, better shape to do it now than they were 2 years ago. I think I said that earlier. I don't mean to repeat myself, but 2 years ago when Arkansas didn't have KJ and they had played Malik Hornsby and Cade Fortin, they weren't the answer. And still, LSU only won 13-10 that day.
Yeah,
but I think Arkansas is in pretty good shape, even if Malachi has to play. I just feel like the kid's really benefited by playing against UAPB and playing that series or two against a few series, basically almost the entire fourth quarter against Tennessee.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So it is about that time now. We're going to take a look at the SEC today as Arkansas rolls into week 8.
If you don't read Jason's predictions, you need to read that story, guys. I don't get on here and tell people what to do often, but try to read those predictions each Thursday. He puts them out there, and does a great job with that. I mean,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, he does a great job with that, and you don't have to agree with the predictions. I mean, that's fine. But the point is he tells you about each game and stuff, and does a good job with that. So yeah, I'm proud he does that story because he does a good job with it. Just read it if you get a chance.
Yeah, I do. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I do some research. I do quite a bit of research whenever I go into these games. Like, for instance, Oklahoma and Texas are combined 17-3 after the Red River rivalry.
I saw that in your story today, I believe.
Yeah. And so that means that, really South Carolina and Georgia are kind of on notice because Oklahoma is 9-1 in the last 10 years and Texas is 8-2. So with that being
Oklahoma's got some stretching to do this year, though. I don't think they're that good, Jason. So we'll see.
So let's go over to South Carolina, Oklahoma, which, by the way, and this is what I found out in a little bit of research, this is the first time that these two teams have ever met. And on not only that is you've got Lenore Settles, I think is his name, quarterback for Sellers. Sorry, Lenore Sellers for South Carolina, heading into Norman. Oklahoma is a 1.5 point favorite. Listen. I know that they kind of got a drumming 27-3 to Ole Miss last week. I think that they bounced back, and there's going to be some really pissed off people in Oklahoma because I think the Oklahoma's going to be 1-3 when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I think Rocket Sanders will have a good day against OU. OU's defense is pretty good. They're not bad on defense, but their offense, man, they're just not very good at all. They have no offense basically. And I know people want Kel Gundy back, but I think it goes deeper than that. They're playing a quarterback, a freshman that I don't think is ready to play this year, and I'm not impressed with OU. I like their defense a little bit, but they really do pretty good considering the lack of offense they have. Yep. But I think that game could go either way. But if Oklahoma wins, it'll be because they're at home and got a little bit of a just experience there from winning, and we'll see. That could be a good game both ways, though. I mean, I could see that game going either way.
I know that I picked Oklahoma to win that just on the sheer fact that Oklahoma's 9-1 after they play Texas. But again, that's also whenever they were playing Kansas for a number of years and then West Virginia after that. This is not West Virginia. This is not Kansas. This is South Carolina. This is Shane Beamer that is, dang near beat LSU at home. They took a last-second field goal for LSU to win, which, like you said, LSU is a couple plays away from being 3-3. Yeah. That's one of those games.
South Carolina was definitely one of those games, and then Ole Miss was the other one.
Yep. So I may have to change my prediction on that because I'm starting to lean more the South Carolina way. I mean, Rocket Sanders has had a pretty solid year so far. 81 carries, 392 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Where was that last year?
Yeah, I hope Dow Loggins dials up a win for South Carolina against the Sooners. I really do. I like Dow. He's a good friend of mine. Been at one for years. But I guess I'll pick South Carolina. It's hard, but I'll pick South Carolina. What the heck?
So you've got Alabama traveling to Tennessee. Tennessee's been reeling. I know we kind of talked a little bit about that here at the first of the show. Alabama damn near got beat last week on a 2-point. It was a 2-point win. I do believe it actually was over South Carolina. My bad. It wasn't. South Carolina 2 weeks ago lost to Ole Miss and then almost beat Alabama at Alabama 27-25. So Alabama, they are a 3-point favorite on the road. That's it.
Yeah. That's a hard game for me to pick, man. I mean, it's just hard. I'm going to go with Alabama, but Tennessee could win that game. Obviously, I mean, SEC, any team can just about win.
Yeah.
I think the next game we're going to talk about, I don't think that's the case, but most of these games could go either way, including the Arkansas LSU game. But I'll go with Alabama. I think they're better than people think they are. I know. Look, they're not Nick. There's only one Nick Saban. People want to say, well, they're not as good when Nick Saban. Well, there's only one Nick Saban. Yeah, I mean, probably the best coach that ever coached the game, man. So, I mean, this guy came in and got them, 5-1 or 6-1, Jason?
Alabama's 5-1 right now.
So, I mean, what can you do? You're following Saban, and you come in there and give them 5-1. Beat Georgia. You beat Georgia.
And one of the biggest games of the season to this point.
Yeah. So, I think he's doing a good job.
I think he has, too. Let's check it real quick. All right. So, and Otis, as everybody knows, the winner gets the cigar in this one. So we'll have to see how it goes. So next you've got A&M traveling to Stark Vegas at Cowbell U, as I like to affectionately call them. Mississippi State took Georgia to task, lost 41-31 last week. Yeah. I mean,
they're getting better, but I don't think they can hang with A&M. A&M's a lot better than I thought they were.
Yeah,
they're the team that's a lot better than I thought they were.
I mean, this one's got Jeff Levy up at night thinking about it because that A&M defense, he's got to find something to do to at least keep them off balance. But
Cody Kennedy's offensive line will have their work cut out for them this weekend. I mean, that's a tough game, man.
They do.
I'll go with A&M easily in that one. I think they win it.
18-point favorite.
I think they may cover that. I think they may cover.
There's a really good possibility they do. So you got Vanderbilt. They are taking on Ball State. Here's a crazy stat, Otis. Vanderbilt wins this. They have one more game, and now they are bowl eligible.
Mm-hmm. They've done a good job. Beating Alabama is crazy. I mean, nobody predicted that. I mean, outside of the Vanderbilt locker room, nobody really predicted it. But that's amazing. But they've done a good job. Well, they've done a great job over there that coach has, and I'm proud for them, man. I'm glad Arkansas doesn't have to play them this year.
Well, I mean, think about it for just a second. Going back to the Tennessee game, I mean, if that's the fact and Tennessee wins, Alabama's not going to want to go back to the state of Tennessee because they've gotten their ass kicked twice now this year.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good – they're going to stay away from the volunteer state.
They will be not volunteering to go back anytime soon. So the big matchup of the weekend is Georgia traveling to top-ranked Texas. Texas is a 5-point favorite, right? Is that? Hold on. Wow. 5-point favorite. Yeah. Sorry. Had to get my cheaters on there on the screen there. College game day is going to be there. You've got Quinn Ewers stepping back into that starting role after last week, kind of shaking off the rust a little bit. Looks really good against Oklahoma and that defense. The thing is with Georgia, they have the ability to play from behind, but I don't think that Texas is the team that you want to do that against this week.
Not in Austin. Georgia's been up and down. They barely beat Kentucky. They lost to Alabama. They barely beat some team.
Yeah,
I think Texas wins this game, but you don't want to be. You're Texas. You don't want them to have a Clemson type game where they put it all together. Georgia's capable of that, Jason. Yeah. They're capable of doing that, and if they do, they'll beat Texas. But I'm gonna go with Texas in that game. I don't think Georgia will put it all together like they did against Clemson. I mean, they make Clemson look really bad, and turns out Clemson's not that bad so far.
So this is Texas's first real test in the SEC because let's face it. I mean, OU's not got the greatest defense this year.
Michigan has no offense, and OU has no offense.
Exactly.
The two teams they played nationally that got the most publicity was with Michigan and OU. Neither one of them have any offense.
And I really feel like the reason why that the Georgia-Alabama game was such a high-scoring game was because of the familiarity of both of the two teams. They faced each other so many times that something like that was bound to be happening. Because, I mean, let's face it, last couple of years you've seen where there's been really tight games. These two teams may not have had their best game on defense, but they had their best game on offense. I think that Georgia can go in there. They can put points on the scoreboard. They are going to test Texas. I just don't know if Texas can cover that 5 points just because Georgia might pull it out, but at the same time, I don't know.
I think Texas will win, but it would not surprise me at all if Georgia wins. I'm not straddling the fence on that. I'm just saying that I think if Georgia played like they played against Clemson, they'd have a chance to beat Texas. But it's going to be tough to go to Austin and beat Texas. That's going to be a tough game for them. I'll tell you, Georgia schedule makers did Georgia no favors. They had to go to Alabama. They had to go to Texas. And I believe they have to go to Ole Miss too. If I'm not mistaken, Jason, they've got a tough road game.
Yeah, they do.
So that's why I said earlier about Arkansas playing these tougher teams at home. That matters. That enters into it as well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
3-3 versus 3-3 doesn't matter. It's Kentucky and Florida. The Florida team that we are seeing right now is not the team that we saw at the first of the year against Miami, because after what Florida did last week and then damn near beating Tennessee, that right there told me that Billy Napier has got that locker room maybe where he wants it, and it's only making Scott Strickland look better.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It looked like Florida was one loss away from Napier getting fired, and then all of a sudden they've rallied and played better ball behind him. The defense has gotten a lot better, playing better ball. They've rallied behind Napier. I didn't think they would. Didn't know if they would or not, but they have. And, I think Napier's going to survive this year. And, I don't know what will happen beyond this year. I'm telling you, Kentucky has played some teams really well. They beat Ole Miss. Yep. They went to Oxford and won that game. So if they go to Oxford and win, they can sure go to Gainesville and win. And I think Kentucky does. But Georgia, as you said, correct. I mean, you were correct on that. Florida's not the same team that played earlier in the year. Kind of the joke of the SEC. They're not that way now.
I am going to officially throw down the gavel and say that this is no longer a Billy Napier watch game.
No, they lose. I mean, I don't know what would happen if they got beat like 40-0 or something, but I think he's going to survive the season.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen beyond the season. I'm not an insider at Florida, so I don't know what's going to happen. I was honestly surprised they brought him back after Arkansas beat him last year.
Yeah.
So I don't. I mean, I hadn't been exactly spot on Florida anyway. I thought when Arkansas beat them last year, I said he's history, but he wasn't. So we'll see. But I mean, yeah, it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah. And so I want to go up to the Sleaze Bowl before we look at the Arkansas game for a minute. You have Auburn and Hugh Sleaze going against Eli Drinkowitz at Missouri. Otis, you're kind of chomping at the bit. I'm gonna let you have it.
I'm spraying like I got Lysol to spray your laptop with those two teams. I've got some imaginary Lysol spraying it with Georgia.
My gosh.
I mean, I'm sorry, not Georgia, but Missouri and Auburn. Man, that's a game where you just how can you pick a team there, man? I guess if somebody had a gun on me and said you've got to cheer for one of those teams, I'd take Auburn simply because Drinkowitz is just such a jerk when he beat Arkansas and stuff, I
feel like you just drank a little bit of glass of turpentine there. When you said that.
It's right. Well, I said somebody had a gun on me. Ain't nobody got a gun on me, so I ain't for either one of them. I mean, that's Sleaze Bowl right there. I mean, that's just be interesting to see Freeze if they lose that game, and I think they will. Yeah. Who he throws under the bus after that game. He'll throw somebody. It won't be Hugh's fault. It won't be his fault, but he'll throw somebody on the bus.
Yeah, he's pretty good at doing that mess. We already talked
I
about
think Missouri wins, though. Not that I don't care. But I think Missouri beats Auburn's not very good.
Yeah, and I think that the difference in that is, and I know this is going to sound crazy when I say this. I've said it now before. Missouri's power running game. I think that that's going to be the difference because Arkansas proved that you can move the ball between the sticks on Auburn and that's that front seven. I think that that's where you see Luther Burden III, and he just goes crazy, and I think that Auburn is going to get exposed again, kind of like what happened with Cal, and I think that you're going to have Missouri just running all over them.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Auburn. I think Missouri beats them. Yeah, I do. We'll see. I mean, it's just a game where, my God, you couldn't put two teams together that the coaches, I hate them. I mean, there's only three coaches that I put in that boat, and that's Drinkwitz, Freeze, and Bielema. Those are the three coaches that, man, I just want them to lose every time they go on the field.
And so we've already also got our predictions in for that Arkansas game. I've got Arkansas losing 20-13. I'm going to put a caveat to this, Otis. And the reason why I say that is because if Taylen Green is functional and he's able to run most of that playbook, I will sit here and I will say that I am wrong. And I will also say that I think that if that happens, Arkansas will win 31-20.
I've got Arkansas 24-21. I'm just going with the Hogs. I think LSU is 2 plays away from being 3-3. I think Arkansas is 2 plays away from being 6-0. I think Arkansas is a better football team. Not just because they're home, but I think Arkansas is a better football team. The weird thing is Arkansas's long victory over them since Pittman was at Baton Rouge. Yeah. And, that game you were talking about earlier where Houston Nutt beat Darren McFadden, haven't beat them, that was in that Baton Rouge as well. So, I mean, they played really well down. I mean, Bielema had a huge win one night. They beat LSU like 31-14 or something. I don't remember the score. They beat the crap out of LSU down there when Bielema was here one year when they rolled LSU in Baton Rouge. So, yeah, they've had some big wins in Baton Rouge. This is in Fayetteville. I know Brett that year, his second year here, his first 2 SEC wins were Ole Miss and LSU. That was the only 2 games. Then they went and beat Texas in the Texas Bowl. But that was the 2 lone wins he got in the SEC that year. They were over when they played those 2 teams and beat both of them, shut them out both in Razorback Stadium. Boy, it was cold nights.
I remember that because that was back-to-back weeks with Ole Miss and
back-to-back
LSU.
Weeks and night games and cold is all colder than all get out. And I mean, but yeah, so.
All right, so we're here at the 2-minute warning. Get you guys out of here really quick. Quick score update. Holy crap!
The Yankees got beat. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, it's 2-1. Well, I had them. I thought they'd lost before I got all piped up when they went up 5-3. Looks like the bullpen let them down. So yeah. So that's been a strength, though. Oh well, it's 2-1. I've got the Lakers at 9 tonight, guys.
Yes,
Playing the Phoenix Suns.
Good. Yes.
Exhibition game,
Man.
but preseason, whatever.
That and also NBA season starts next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they play the Minnesota. That's a bad matchup for the Lakers, man.
Yeah.
Minnesota's got that side that really hurt the Lakers. And so we'll see. That's why you play the game.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight here at Torchys Tacos and also on YouTube. And I want to thank Torchys for all of their great hospitality. Make sure to stop by Fayetteville, the Torchys location in Fayetteville on MLK. I can't talk right now. At 4 o'clock on Saturday for the Arkansas pregame show with myself and former Razorback Marshall Foreman. And we'll get you guys all set up with everything that you need to know going into the matchup against the Bengals, the Bengal Tigers, a.k.a. the Baton Rouge Bayou. I don't know what you want to call them. But
yeah,
I think that it's going to be a great matchup. I think that if Arkansas has a full go at quarterback, I think that's going to be a good night for them. But again, if it doesn't, then we'll see what happens.
Yep. Well, they play the game, man, but Arkansas's going to win.
All right, everybody, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight here at Torchys, and go Hogs.
Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos in college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.